Breeze, they did come back on the second map as well, so this is going to be the test. It was Breeze specifically that brought them back in this series, and against a team that is also very proficient. But here, Sentinels, very good at this map. 2-0 so far in LCQ, 3-0 overall in what you would consider Stage 2 plus LCQ. Their only map win, actually, in Stage 2 was on Breeze, and TenZ dropped 40. The good thing here for Sentinels is TenZ heating up. He's definitely been having a rough time so far with the role swap as well, plus being sick. But here it doesn't feel like any of that's hitting, although Zelsis already exploring down elbow.
Shoulder spotted, bang. Nothing else as a brutal heading as he takes one to the head. But Zeller and Derek, they get the openers on the round.
They get both of those kills, and TenZ was nowhere near, but he still might be able to actually capitalize back. No TP though. And 100 Thieves has now gotten the sight.
See, Will is starting to rotate his way over. It's just Shaz and Shroud that remain. They're all going to try to push him from the same spot. Shroud has to do it himself. He's not going to be able to do it. Asuna gets 3 on the round. 100 Thieves, they win the pistol.
Oh, virtually flawless one, minus Bang. Just not having the angle, actually. Tucked too close to that wall, and Zelsis with his walkabouts gets him. But they get punished so hard. I mean, so hard. And I'm shocked that TenZ was so far behind them as well. Still in his rendezvous. Not even anywhere close to be able to trade them. Potentially, you know, expecting maybe a trap flash or something like that from 100 Thieves. Either way. Another pistol goes in favor of 100 Thieves here, and they've got 3 rifles on board.
Standing ahead.
Fast mid control though.
And that was actually the key on both sides of the proverbial ball for 100 Thieves. They set up Will across the middle of the map, and he was their playmaker. They trusted him to be the spark for 100 Thieves. They're going to have to do it again here.
I also think that poking in mid is a great way to actually find out what's going on the defensive side. Right now, 100 Thieves is thinking Sentinels is a team that could set up either very aggressive on these ecos or very passive, and they'll find a stack over towards the B site here.
Spike planted.
Spike goes down from Cellar with a cage around him. See Will dashing back, expecting some sort of a flank. Got the tripwire to keep them back.
Yeah. One thing that FaZe discovered very early against this comp from 100 Thieves is the flanks are very difficult to actually execute. Yeah. You can get them off, but mostly you're finding kills past the trip. Here, Derek might actually get his head taken off by Dapper.
All the timing just not really going Dapper's, or really Derek's way for that matter, as he's going to have a fight. Now the dart's going to give him away. He turns around and bang, saves the day. He gets a second with the Bulldog.
There. One enemy remaining.
Great coverage from Bang. I mean, right as you actually have the flank coming in from Dapper, Bang turns his head. And we'll get the anti-eco on board for 100 Thieves. So exactly the same situation we had on Fracture. Very little to be gleaned from these first 2 rounds. Outside of Sentinels wants to be taking the risks on these sort of pushes. And on the pistol round, they walk down elbow, and the second round here with the flank. Something that you did not expect coming into Breeze when you see Sentinels playing the fade and Dapper playing the fade was the amount of flanking that he does on this map. He still sticks to that old role quite significantly outside of adding, you know, the utility that the initiator provides towards the execute. But after that, a lot of times he's just gone.
Yeah, they choose to go about this. Who's getting the ult orb? I believe it was Asuna. Yeah, he gets 1 step closer to having that no command on line. With Bang being 2 points away from his Viper's Pit early.
This deep wall as well for 100 Thieves. They want to clear the entirety of this site. They do end up pushing, and it looks like they will. And Zelsis is in front of the wall.
Zelsis is playing around the pyramids. Yeah, he's able to take care of Will. Tries to land the second, but Asuna wins that duel out. A little bit of info for Shroud. Can he get the kills? Can he find any sort of value? Spamming through. So again, you see all of this utility is keeping 100 Thieves safe, at least for now. But with that, they've lost numbers. They're outnumbered right now. Derek weak. The flash up from Asuna was 52 HP. He tries to swing around. Here's the Prowler. Stellar having to tug, having to run for the fences. No. Clean round out from Sentinels. The delay was too good.
Really nicely done. Only losing 1 player after it's all said and done. Zelsis with the opener as well on Will, who's not able to punish him whatsoever. Yeah. because the flash from Asuna a little early and doesn't catch Celsius at all as he goes for that peek on the left side of the pyramid. Then Shroud as well, playing very well there on the stairs. I don't think he got a kill even, but the way that he's swinging with Shazam, the way that he's staying alive for so long and applying pressure towards anybody who's not crossed yet out of cave. Very, very nice.
Scanning ahead.
Sentinels get on the board a little bit earlier this time around. They have guns to work with here too. Again, we see Will exploring mid-map.
He's all the way at the bottom as well. They've set him up with the dart. Dapper 2 is actually cleared quite a bit into elbow with a Prowler. But can't ever get a little too frisky there, given the window peek is always possible.
Yeah.
Will's just sitting in mid.
Enemy suppressed.
With Stellar's position too, I don't believe they should full commit here.
It's interesting, really, with the knife that hit Asuna, they were starting to rotate away towards B. Sentinels were, and they still kind of committed that way. Zelsis eventually comes back.
Trying to work. Oh no, they didn't even take the orb, so no command up late in the round. Instead of very early on that orb take.
And another instance in which they prioritize that over the Viper's Pit. Maybe Bang gets through it if they manage to get the plant down, but they have to get through the defenses of Sentinels first. If that's part of their game plan, Asuna uses ult, pushes forward, the flash on the other side of the wall, the swing, no targets given yet. Tucks right back. Now Bang, looking to get the spike down, will have the Viper's Pit online, and the question is, does he use it? Yes, he does.
Shot coming in on the Bang. Gotta be careful there. He was vulnerable. They could have done so much. Look at Will as well. This fight against Dapper on the backside as Asuna falls in the pit.
Pushing the middle from that Bang, trying to stay alive, trying to stay up. Will's shots finally land. He's able
Not
to
planted
cut off
for
the
him.
rotations, and now he's starting to rotate over. They do have some cave presence, but you're right, it's not planted his way. The first shot dart deals some damage, but Zelsis just sticks it.
A full stick! And we've seen that before. We have seen that story before in this series alone. The flank a little too late for Will as well, and he's not going to be able to get anything done because he goes for that door open. And there's no post plant because Bang falls early. That pit didn't get much either. They just completely nullified it right away. They played that really well too against the KO ult just to stay back. They didn't lose a single person off of it. They didn't really go for an anti-KO setup. But 100 Thieves fall flat here.
Off of that, we're tied at 2 apiece, so interesting buy for them. Asuna has a pistol, Will has a pistol. They're not where they want to be. Meanwhile, Sentinels fully healthy, bringing everything they could possibly want. Zelsis and Tens both a point away from having their ult online.
Tens' ult, very impactful for him.
Yeah.
Hasn't been buying the op too often so far in this series, but Tour de Force comes up. Shazam just barely escaping.
Teleport's gone.
And getting
Combo
some
of
info
Asuna
at the
as
same
well.
time.
Spotting the mid control as well.
What do they do here? Sentinels have 2 members on site. The Prowler's going to push a little bit of it back, but it's just for a moment. It's just temporary. Here. Relief from pressure heading their way.
Gotta wait for the wall to come out, and that's the hit.
Dash goes through, Dapper repositioning, Tens gets the kill, Dapper swings around, gets another to spam. It seems like Asuna took a little bit of damage there, just a tickle, but not much more. And Tens still causes problems, gets away to safety. Asuna's left in this 1v4. Yeah, Tens is weak, he's able to clear that one up, but that's all it's going to be good for. Sentinels take the lead.
And I really like the wall timing there for Shroud and how the 2 players who were on site, Tens and Dapper, played off of it. First, they actually challenge Will and the smoke. They split them up very well. And then they wait for that wall to come out and play really passively together. It's that moment, right?
One enemy remaining.
Drop it right away again. And there's just so much. It's very difficult to actually push into ladder when Dapper's throwing Prowlers out beforehand. So, very, very nicely done. You have that Tour de Force online for Tens. Same thing with Zelsis' ult like you called out in the last round. So how do they determine to use this time? Tens very passive inside of tunnels. He could go for this aggressive peek later though.
And there's really nothing to restrict that sightline, at least yet. Maybe a cloudburst or something, but for now, if they try to cross, there goes the wall, or the wall goes up, excuse me. Under series, Else is trying to find someone to run him in just to do so. The flash, but he pops up, he gets dropped. Shroud from up top's not going to find value either. As Asuna takes care of him. See some info gathered from Dapper as they try to push their way forward. Sentinels looking to reestablish control of the site. You've got two members playing in caves, and look at them. They're rotating right around each other. Shaz may get the timing onto Stellar if it goes his way. No, turns around. Now they know where he is. Stellar cleans him up. 4-4 still in the hands of Tens. Nothing doing there either. A flawless round comes through for 100 Thieves.
And that mid split, really, really well played. Actually, all three players of 100 Thieves turned that flash from Zelsis. The one that he's been throwing from the pipe.
Yeah.
Every single game they played on Breeze so far. And he's just put himself in a tough spot. Obviously, he had to pop the ult as well prior to that. So they really know to expect that. Good reaction for them, and I think that's somewhere they can start to push the button a little bit more, right? That the mid control, it's really not been getting contested. And then also going for that mid split. The nice thing about 100 Thieves' attack so far is they've been playing really dynamic in the sense of they don't put this wall down early at all for Bang. So they can choose late in the round which site to go for and even go for any splits here.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful here from Dapper.
You see Bang is the only one who's looking his way.
He's got his wall out though.
He hears the footsteps. Will goes up top, dashes forward, but look at Dapper. He's found the tuck. He's found the timing. He finds the kills. All three fall. And now the power. He's got the ult. The thing is, they're spread out on the side a little bit, but again, more info. See him, he thinks twice about the Nightfall. It was there, he had a position to do it, but Asuna, the only one standing on the side of 100 Thieves. I heard the shock dart, but it's actually Tens that cleans him up with the Headhunter. What a play from Dapper. The guy has been a monster this entire tournament, Balla.
Yeah, and also having the most successful fade I think I've seen on this map specifically. Very few have tried it, but it's crazy to see Sentinels actually successfully implementing something that is slightly off meta on this map. He's had massive impact, especially when you actually go towards the attack side too. We're not even there yet. Ten's got the op online as well. He's gonna solo towards A.
Bring them down.
It's very difficult to actually spot out what defensive setup they're using on this B site until you spot Tens, because Dapper's consistently using those prowlers to get into positions on elbow. So there's a sense of fear whenever you come towards this side of the map.
He still has that Nightfall online too. See him tuck around B. All of 100 Thieves are here. Shaz on the shoulder yet again up in Nest to see if he spots anyone. The ult comes through. Two members that are tucked in B. They're going to have to do it with their guns. And there it is. The Nightfall drops. The silence like crawling across their skin. The tether just like a wound that will not heal, but they get the info that they need. They're getting the kills that they need too. Tens and Shaz both remain, and now it's just Tens.
Spike planted.
Eric on the spike plant. He slipped the net. He slipped the net. He's managing to get a kill. He's going to land the flick on the second, but Derek wins the clutch again. A 3K for him. That was entirely too close, though.
What is the clutch count on this guy now? I feel like there's been probably 2 1v1s at least for him where he's denied the clutch, specifically against Tens even in this series so far. He's got to be up at like 13 at this point.
Last player standing.
What a play. And actually, pretty interesting that Sentinels even bring that one back in the first place, because it feels like we've been trading very clean rounds from both sides. Obviously, that one towards the end goes a little crazy when the retake actually starts. But the hit from 100 Thieves was pretty nice. Successful in terms of getting into good post-plant positions. So the frag's not going in their way. So let's see, does this pattern continue? Is Sentinels going to wipe the floor with them now, as they have a good chance to think about exactly what 100 Thieves are going to try to do here in the timeout.
Asuna with a strong performance to kick things off. You see him 10-5 already, while Tens is continuing the terror that he was on Fracture. An 11-4 stat line, but you're right, it's pretty early on. It's been a good read, and much like you were saying in the rounds, the kills have gone the way. The rounds seem to be trading back and forth. This is a very good early matchup.
Ten's continuing to be on form. When he pops off, a lot of times this map, specifically in the series, gets crazy from him. And again, they're really putting a lot of reliance on him getting up close. That knife misses him. And Celsius actually rejoins too. They might go for a pop flash late here with this close setup. Potentially after Tense takes contact. And then another interesting thing here as well. Dapper is rotating off the B site for the first time, leaving Shroud alone there. Here's the walkabout.
And the timing not necessarily going either which way quite yet as Derek now tucks his way in. You see the split coming in through double doors. Elsis position being given away, but do you know that Tens is on the other side? No!
That's
and
Spike!
Spike, it's disaster! How do they reestablish control? It's all gone sideways, you see it? All members of Sentinels, they're the ones huddling around the Spike. 100 Thieves are going to be the ones who have to take it back! Oh, how do they get through this? It's like ring around the rosy across the map. And swinging around, Tens cleans him up. Stellar behind enemy lines. There's just everyone is getting behind everybody here. Tens gets a third on the round. You hear the neural theft come through. They still haven't gotten back to the Spike, just within reach there, and Tens stops it again.
Caught one.
Stellar, who was the furthest away from the play, has to do it himself. Tens is 4 on the round. An ace within reach, but Dapper's the one who does it. Sentinels get to 5.
It's always Dapper, bro, who steals the ace. I mean, I don't think the seller would have walked into Tens there, but really good reposition from Tens after that. Actually, the first kill, just in general, the fact that they go for this push, Derek obviously alone with the drone, very dangerous, but that kill where he goes up into the halls area and then goes down the rope and then back up the halls again. How can you predict that, and how can you prepare yourself when there's already a crossfire with Zelsis set up in that instance? Another clean round. Back to back to back clean rounds, it feels like.
There's a Blade Storm used from Will early on. Pistols the rest of the way for 100 Thieves. And much like has been the case this half, they test the waters mid, see if they can find something to work with. Zelsis laying just on the other side of these double doors. Shaz using the drone to see if he can get any info, and yeah, he spots one.
Every round so far in this map has been a first kill conversion. As the team gets the first kill, they win the round. And once again, I mean, we really expect this one to go Sentinel's favor now.
Naturally, this would be the one that goes sideways, right?
Yeah.
Will with the blades, dashing his way forward. You see him go up top. Cloudburst around the corner, and yep, Will gets a second. You have the numbers advantage here, and Stellar's tucked. I don't think they know that he's here, and he's so patient. There it is. Oh my gosh, that was almost bad. Trout trades him out. Derek gets the spike down, though. Numbers still in favor of 100 Thieves here. And they've upgraded weapons. Both Asuna and Derek have rifles, but Asuna's weak. Team huddled around the site. The flash comes through as you see him trying to reposition. Trout's able to take care of the blades. Viper's pit in mind. He's in a 1v2. 3 bullets left. He's going to have to do it himself, but no. Balla, you jinxed the round. A 50-round win for 100 Thieves.
And that's off of Will just running up mid, getting a kill on the B site. I think against Dapper. And it will be a timeout now for Sentinels. Off of the 3rd eco win for 100 Thieves. And impact for Will, even though he's still at the bottom of the scoreboard. That round definitely a lot to point towards him as the person who really got it started. Celsius too, I mean, got that first kill, and then he kind of spotted that they were pushing up mid in that case, right? That's he's spamming through mid, gets the double doors kill. But they're just not prepared to actually deal with Will long range with the knives.
You think through, like, what are the adjustments, what are the things that have to happen, but much like we talked about Ball in the previous timeout, it just seems like these two teams are going back and forth. They're going tit for tat. This has been such a good matchup, but you're right. Will's Blade Storm there, who came into that round at 1-6. It's been a slow start for him, but 2 massive kills off that Blade Storm to really open the round to once again get a 3rd eco for 100 Thieves this series and to break the trend of first kills, translating to round wins.
We do have to remember the Breeze map where once we swapped to that defensive side, or once we played on that defensive side, Will really turned up
Yeah, he did.
against FaZe. Went 18 kills on defense. So definitely keep that in mind.
Viper's Pit used from Shroud B to open up the round. You see him playing in it, but the rest of Sentinels have left him. Orb once again funneled into Asuna. Bang has his pit too. It seems like that's where they want to end up. It wants to be a hit on A. The Cloudburst to dash out. The Hunter's Fury too. Sees there was pretty good. It's going to keep them at bay for now, but is there any follow-up? Anything? No. The Hunter's Fury is going to be traded right back. Viper's Pit falls. Utility, ultimates everywhere. Shaz gets one onto Stellar. Will trying to play around. You can see Dapper just on the other side of the goo. Will jumps up, tries to get high ground, swings around, no, punished. Chaz with clean shots to clean that up. They're both so weak. Dapper on the tap, and that's all it's going to be so far. Derek's on the flank, but can he get there in time, or can 100 Thieves hold back without him?
He might have an angle from bridge here.
Player standing.
Okay, yeah, he's going to have to do something here. The first shock dart
One enemy
tickles
remaining.
a little damage. Derek once again in a clutch. Celsius, he swings off of it, and Derek with
Recognition
4!
is nice.
The Red Bull clutch is almost commonplace for him now.
Last round before the switch.
I said it last week. You might as well call him Mr. Red Bull. This guy is unreal.
Take him out. Revealing
The consistency that he's hitting these clutches with.
Last player.
1v2 this time as well. And Sentinels,
Jeez.
unfortunately, not able to get another retake going here. They're struggling in these situations, and for good reason. I mean, 100 Thieves is one of the best post-plant teams in the region, if not the best, if you could consider them that. And on Fracture, they gave him a run for their money in those situations, but here on Breeze, a lot different with the Viper.
Very different. Last round of the half here, Sentinels with a weird buy. You've got a Guardian, a Spectre, a Judge, and a Marshal too. Now you're going to have Asuna with that ult online, that no command. Pop out, and this is going to look very similar to the hit we just saw. This time Shroud with an opener. The Marshal's there. Second shot goes just a bit wide. How much longer can he delay? How much longer can he stay in this spot, dancing around the pyramids with that Marshal in hand still? They're just on the other side of each other. Look at Asuna pushing his way forward. Amali in his feet. He has to reposition. He has to take a step back, and now there's a Prowler there too. Asuna's getting everything in the kitchen sink thrown his way, and he somehow is still alive. But Shroud is too. One bullet left on that Marshal. Dapper on the swing. The Spectre comes through. Shroud finally falls.
One enemy remaining. Last
How
player
have they gotten into a
down
1v1? Will, is he as clutch as his teammate is? 10's weak. Yes, Will is. 3 kills for him. A 7-5 half for 100 Thieves.
Switching
Unbelievable. We'll be right back. It's been a year since these two teams have played, and so far the Intergalactic Clout Bout has delivered on every single possible facet you could imagine. There are clutches, there are sneak diffuses, there's a little bit of everything you could possibly want. And now Bala, we turn our attention to 100 Thieves' defensive side, where they're statistically better than they were in the first half as they carry this 2-round lead in.
And this we actually get Hall's fight from Will right away against 10s. He will escape with his life, much like we saw in the first pistol round of Fracture.
But Will weak, he took some damage in 10s. With everything thrown his way, continues to push forward, not satisfied with what he's got, not satisfied with what he's taken, and he's not going to be satisfied with the end of that round. Stellar wins that opening duel.
Right here.
Thieves can pull back and start to get the advantage here in pistols in this series. They could be turning it for themselves as well.
Asuna pushing in through double doors. They're all going to funnel in at the exact same time. You see the only thing that's keeping him at bay is the thinly veiled wall before them.
One enemy
Now it turns
remaining.
into a 2v2. Stellar and Derek able to keep things back. Shroud, 89 HP. He's playing lineups. He's playing post-plant, and they're just going to take the fight to him. He's got into a 1v1, and Stellar wins that out. But good night, that was close.
That was so close. It looked so much like many Sentinels clutches I've seen in the past. I remember Dapper at Berlin hitting one. My goodness. Shroud almost living up right away to the Sentinels' name. But that is a pistol round win for 100 Thieves, and that first half was the poorest defensive half we've actually had from Sentinels thus far. And I don't really think that they were able to get into the same type of setups that they wanted to, especially with the aggressiveness that we were talking about with Dapper and Tens in a lot of these situations, not really netting themselves a lot of advantages early, because 100 Thieves just understood. So it's a long battle up. 100 Thieves is good on this half. This defensive side is where Will comes alive.
Sentinels even with the plant. They don't buy up. Don't invest much of anything. They just decide to play this one out with classics. It's elbow presence. It's mid presence again.
Teleport's ready.
Seems like they're going to rotate back towards A. Shroud not feeling any pressure or any sort of presence coming in from halls either. Zelsis doesn't have his knife yet, but he should have it here soon. That may be the key for them to go.
Up now. This wall, they're going to be able to get through it really fast anyways. If it gets the decay, which it almost does. But the Molly comes out too, so the suppress doesn't even matter.
The timing is very well done. Now they commit to it. They funnel down with 38 seconds left. Not a whole lot of options to work with. Tens trying to get something from double doors, and no, Austin sucker punches him.
One enemy
And it's all done back in time as Dapper gets a couple of his own. But Derek cleans it up at the end. Well done by 100 Thieves.
And a good anti-eco conversion from them.
Uh-huh.
And a solid lead now, 4 rounds. Was a 7-5 half, get stretched a little bit deeper. And I do think as well, this is the easier half to prep for if you're 100 Thieves. If we continue that narrative of this team being very good in the prep. The attacking tells come much easier because it's the attacking side that's making any sort of initiative most of the time. So if they're prepped here, and Sentinels has not really changed up the executes, it's definitely something that I think 100 Thieves will use to take an edge.
Look at the aggression. But Will punished for it. You see they tried setting something up to get him a kill. Austin is still close by. The ghost is there. Oh, and it's not around for long. The Prowler out. Derek understanding the presence is way, and there's another one just on the other side. Not able to get it. Dapper cleans him up.
Zelsis' body blocking some of those shots there. The orb actually keeps him safe for a long time, and he gets Zelsis back up. So, great anti-bonus so far, and I think they should easily convert this with the setup they have in halls. And Stellar really slow on this flank. Just going for that, I mean, talk about something that Sentinels was relying a lot on, was this attacking setup where they just use double Prowler from Dapper all the way down halls, push Zelsis as deep as possible up that halls so they can use the null command and get it to get max value on all the players backside, everybody even playing in spawn, and some players if they're aggressive in mid too.
It's interesting. We've seen that hit that we just saw often comboed with Dapper's Nightfall too.
Yeah.
But this time it was just that. But you're right. The outcome was the same. The setup was there. They lean into it a lot, and you see why. It pays off.
Yeah. It was the bonus from 100 Thieves, so weaker weapons. I'm not sure if that is something that they can't use their regular protocol against what they have, or against that strat from Sentinels. So we'll see if something is different. A lot of times teams opt to actually open the door proactively and put their Viper Orb a little deeper. See if that's something that 100 Thieves can pull out. Another thing is just put Will inside of halls. We saw it on the pistol round, and he's there again. Shazam with his ult now.
Like once again, they're just waiting for aggression. We just saw this a couple of rounds ago where Shroud was waiting just at the end of halls to see if someone was going to push him, and this time there is. Will has made his way almost all the way up, all the way in. And Shroud just patient, lying in wait. Drone there, is he going to find the timing he needs? Because at this point, they've given up with the flank. They're not looking at it anymore. The knife out onto A. You see the dart, you see the molly, you see everything thrown out. And now the Hunter's Fury, it did tag one, and that's a dead man walking. Bang, no longer around. But Will with the swing! Oh gosh! He still gets one. Takes here Shazam, dashes back.
It wasn't pretty, but...
No, it was not. But they still have gotten what they wanted. Nice flash out from Zelsis, and then he swings around, gets the kill he needs. Zelsis with 2 on the round. Will left alone in this 1v3. The original architect of the flank at the beginning of the round. Now thoroughly outnumbered, painfully outgunned, and once again, time not on his side.
What a nice combination from Sentinels coming out of that cave. With the drone tagging bang, he falls all the way back to the back of yellow. But guess what? With the Hunter's Fury, Zelsis also has a lineup for his KO nade. So he's already tagged. And easily takes down bang. Sentinels have again even this round, or even this map up. 7-9, 2 rounds deficit now. And they forced 100 Thieves to actually be a little bit on the light buy side. Will's still able to get a Vandal, so was Stellar.
I think Sentinels have ended up, yeah, I'm pretty sure every round has ended up on A for Sentinels attacking half. We'll see if that continues to be the case.
That's a good spot.
Still heavy Hall's presence, Cave's presence, excuse me. This might just be the time they rotate back. Will's playing towards B. He's got the Vandal. Stellar does too. So if they go that way, all of the firepower, the majority of the firepower that 100 Thieves have, is there.
Really, we're expecting actually some dry walking out there. That's why Will and Stellar were close together. It doesn't come, so... Knowing Sentinel's typical timings, they back off. And with that Prowler, actually, that might be some good misdirection. It breaks the trip as well, so Stellar repositions his camera. And again, don't forget, they still haven't really known that this hero buy is coming out from 100 Thieves.
It's just elsewhere. Now Will has shown up, and he's the only one who's back here. Got a couple members coming in from double doors. Asuna pushing his way forward. Bang here too. Now the shot starts. Rain across the site. Asuna gets one. No command through. Will tucked. Trying to stay alive. He had a shot. One dashes away. Asuna makes that share work yet again.
One enemy.
100 Thieves have been able to keep him back.
10 seconds left.
This is going to be, I think, the
Down
4th thrifty round win for them. Or at least a lighter buy. Either way, 100 Thieves seem comfortable in these situations.
Yeah, and they read the situation well as well. They waited a long time to see if there's anything coming out of B, and once they noticed for quite some time that that wasn't coming, even with that Prowler coming through from Dapper, they still commit Will to that side of the map. They still commit to the stack, and it works brilliantly. They also get a shock dart flash through the wall for Asuna to peek, and he gets the one and gets away. And the time way too low for Sentinels on that hit. Not something that's typical from them.
Bang dropping the pit B. No contest, at least at the beginning of the round over there yet. Seems like another slow start to the round for Sentinels. As Will and Derek have taken the long way around. They'd head back towards A, and well, for good reason. Sentinels seem to favor this side of the map.
One thing that you actually saw Sentinel or 100 Thieves do when they faced this Viper wall or Viper Orb on P, is they just went for this hit, but this time they actually have some trips and some cages on this site. Even though this is coming out, if they delay quite long enough, they can use those for retake really well.
Yeah, very well may. You see Will once again on the flank. And the trip's not going to catch him, but is he going to choose the right path to go to? No, it doesn't seem like Will, but I don't know.
Shroud saw him. He saw him.
Yeah, Shroud saw him, cleans him up. Derek gets the kill on Zelsis. Now the spike ticking away here. You see Derek, he can't hear a dang thing, but Asuna continued to push forward, continuing to get the kills. 4v2 here is Shaz and Shroud try to hold them back, try to keep them at bay, but Derek gets 3 on it. Stellar gets a defuse. 100 Thieves hit 11.
And off of the low buy round, they crushed Sentinels with the spike down, it should still be able to scrape maybe a similar light buy out of Sentinels that we had from 100 Thieves in the prior round, but yeah, a couple players able to buy, but not everybody. And 10's one off the orb too, so can't even drop a weapon. We're looking at a must-win round here, especially if they invest here.
And Sentinels feeling that, call the timeout for that very same reason, Bala. This is really kind of it for them on Breeze. And the thing is, they just used the null command. They just used the Nightfall, so they're not going to have a ton of ultimates to really work with here. It has explosion onto the site.
Yeah.
Maybe this is where they flip the script and try to go B, because they haven't been there at all.
Yeah, they really haven't. They're seriously ignoring the middle side of the map. Sometimes, obviously, Dapper's still throwing his Prowler at the beginning of the round towards elbow, but for the most part, you're right. They are ignoring that half. And 100 Thieves are starting to put together a lot of different counters. This push that's happened now twice for Will, obviously it got shut down this time, but it is taking attention from Sentinels. And 100 Thieves has also swapped Stellar onto this site too. Potentially they won't stick to that setup given the pit is gone now from Bang, but no, they will. This round they didn't have to deal with Stellar given the KO ult, but they will have to deal with getting through these cages, getting through the trip setups that he puts down. And here we go, finally some exploration of the left side of the map from Sentinels.
Well, and it's not even like a fake or it's not concealed. It's early, man. They dropped that wall before anything else had started. They're not trying to hide that one bit.
Yeah.
And off of that, I don't think they're going B. This might be another A split.
Shroud definitely wanted to be over towards this side of the map. And it looks like he's actually set up to hold the halls and actually go for lineups. But no, yeah, they're exploring mid, and I think you're right.
You lose.
Ooh! What a shot on the Derek, a one tap.
Yeah, plucked from the pack, and now 10 still controlling the middle of the map.
That has pulled rotates out.
Yeah,
So,
and speaking off of that, Sentinels also rotating back towards A. They've picked up the spike. Shaz is headed that way.
they're just walking out of Stellar right now. They spot the trip.
Welcome to
That's not going to be a problem. A pit is again. But Asuna with the kill. Deep into mid.
They're going to have to rotate into a den of Viper and Thieves on A.
Where is everything?
Can they do anything about it? There's no command. Stellar getting info that he needs. Asuna's fallen. They tuck. Oh, they tuck so well.
30 seconds left.
Nothing giving away. Shaz rotates around. He's been spotted. His position's given away. The cam drops him as Will goes up top. The Blade Storm cleans it up as 100 Thieves get to 12.
We're getting closer and closer to that map 3. There's Shazam really trying to pull something back out of this, and I think that for good reason, right? They needed to win that round. They needed it so bad. They pull out a crazy strat, too, to potentially get a bunch of kills on rotators.
One enemy remaining.
With this pit, which, by the way, is super cool, goes all the way out to clear on top of that box. So, there's another B wall, and this is it.
You want to
Got
play?
through to 4, so it is a full buy here from Sentinels.
Light armor on 2, though.
Yep.
Will holding this angle, understanding that's where they're going to push. The drone should be the first contact, and Will has to dash away. Reserves his life for now. While Dapper having to deal with his own drone as Derek pushes him back.
Again, 10's in this position to find a really, really early kill. Onto the B players. Not much place to hide, except for backside. From both sides, right? Of the B main and this middle area through tunnels.
They have to be careful here. That dart didn't spot him, and I don't know if that's going to lull them into a false sense of security.
Another thing to note is this wall actually does give 10's the opportunity to walk up half wall as well and be safe from sight. So if they put this up, he starts walking. Will is in a fight. Up battle against him.
And it's going to be up close, too. 10's taking the high ground, and there it goes. The wall's up. Does he explore? Does he push
30
forward? Yes,
seconds
he
left.
does. Swings out. Looking to walk up half wall, but no, he decides to go into the wall. And Will cleans him up. Will gets a second on the round. Looking to put Sentinels away. The 3 members that remain. Couple of bullets going wide. You see the hand. Oh, how did that not hit? Now the Hunter's Fury banned in the swing. He falls too. Will gets it.
Spike down B.
third on the
Enemy
round with
remaining.
8 seconds left. They don't have very many options, and now Shazam. Clock expired. Derek cleans it up. A 13-7 win for 100 Thieves as we're headed to Haven.
And we're going all the way in this matchup. Couldn't ask for anything better right here. All the way to map 3. 100 Thieves versus Sentinels delivering on a lot of levels right now.